I welcome you to Bible Times. I'm Willard Pless, and we're here to bring the Bible to reality. We're finding that people are having a hard time understanding that the Bible is talking about what's going on in this world today. They can't bring the Bible to reality. People that are just religious are not bringing the Bible to reality and understanding that it's talking about what's going on today in this world and where we are in Bible time. And this is what we want to talk about. And today we want to talk about year 2025 as a playover of Jesus' last 24 hours. And this is the day that he went to the cross, and this is what we want to talk about. You remember that they came to the Garden of Gethsemane there at dark when they come into the garden and got him at sunset, because the Jewish day started at sunset. And they got him and they took him first to the high priest and the Sanhedrin council. And then when they done what they done, then they took him on to Pilate, and Pilate then sent him to King Herod. So we're following Jesus through the night here as time they get to the third hour, that they take him to Pilate, and then Pilate takes him to King Herod. And when we get to midnight, see, King Herod sends him back to Pilate. And then when we come to the ninth hour in the morning, that Pilate delivers Jesus back to the mob. And then when we come to the 12th hour, which is at daybreak, that the mob takes Jesus to crucify him, put him on the cross. And then when we come to the 15th hour, this is when he's put on the cross. And then when we come to the 18th hour, this is midday, and this is when things turn dark for 3 hours. And then when you come to hour 21, that's when Jesus gave up the ghost, died. And then they took his body down and put it in the tomb before the Sabbath started, which started at dusk, at dark. And so this is what we're following. And this year, 2025, is the year of this time. And we want to look at it as it relates to the month. And so when we come to the Garden of Gethsemane there, when they come and got him and tried him through the night, and then when you come to the next morning at the 12th hour, this is when they take him to put him on the cross. And when you look at it in relation to this year, because we only have 12 months, that when they put him on the cross, we're at the 15th hour. That's when they put him on the cross. And you look at it as the month, breaking it down into the 12 months of this year, that when they put him on the cross, we're in September. when they put him on the cross. We're in September. And then it comes to midday. When we look at midday, we're at hour 18 then. And this brings us to November of 2025. I don't know if you can do this or not. I hope you can. But when we get to September, we know things are going to really fire up and going to be a great crash in this world. And then when we come to November, that this is when they cut off the President Trump. Israel cuts him off, and they begin to flood Jerusalem when Israel cuts him off, and they'll flood Jerusalem just like they did Capitol Hill. And see, when they do that, then you're at 18th hour, begins the darkness. That's at midday. That begins the darkness, and this is when they'll flood Jerusalem like they did Capitol Hill, and this will be very dark. See, this is the abomination of desolation that Jesus talked about in Matthew 24. When they flood Jerusalem, and see, Revelation in the book of Revelation, in chapter 12, talks about Satan when Israel starts to flee to the wilderness, that he sends a flood after them. So this is the flood that he's going to send. They're going to flood Jerusalem, going after the Jewish people that have started to flee. And see, this thing, Jesus is not going to feel the pain this time, which he will, of course. He cares very much about Israel. And what they go through, he feels it too. But Israel's going to feel the pain too. They're going to feel the pain of what he felt when they put him to death on the cross. See, this time they're going to feel it too. And that's what's going on here. And when we come to September, things are going to get very, very bitter in this world. Revelation chapter 10 teaches the Jewish people that everything has come to be very bitter for them. And when we come to hour 21, see, that's when Jesus died on the cross. And this is going to be about January of 2026. See, this thing don't end in January, but it goes on until May the 14th in 2026. This is when it comes to the climax. This is when it's done. When we come to April and May, that's when this thing comes to the climax. This is when Jesus cleanses this world and takes away all evil like he cleansed the temple. He's going to come and cleanse this world. And I know the world can't see this. The church world's not seeing this. The church world's not understanding what the Bible is really giving, not knowing the meaning of the Bible. They can read the scriptures but they don't know the meaning, don't understand the meaning. They can't bring it to reality to understand the meaning, and this is where we are. And when we get to May the 14th in 2026, this thing's going to be done. And the seventh millennial will begin then, with Jesus sitting on the throne. This world will be cleansed, and the seventh millennial will begin, and Jesus has come and cleansed this world and sent the beast and the false prophet to the fire and put Satan in the bottomless pit for the 1,000 years of the seventh millennial. And see, this world goes on for another 1,000 years. This flesh world goes on. That's the reason Jesus chooses the 144,000, because he don't want all flesh to be destroyed. But people that have been born again and saved, they're going to be taken in the resurrection to meet Jesus in the heavens, in the clouds. And this is where the marriage supper of the Lamb will take place. We learned that the bride for Jesus is Jerusalem, not the church, as things have been taught. That's not true. The rapture of the church is not true, because the church has fallen, as the Bible teaches in Revelation chapter 2 and 3, that the church has fallen. Jesus is no longer in the church world, that he's on the outside. But he's still calling people. See, the Bible teaches, Jesus taught that many are called but few are chosen. If you go to Matthew 22 and study about the parable there that Jesus gave about the marriage supper, that people that are called to the marriage supper. But see, he says that many are called but few are chosen. And what that means is that he calls people, but they won't lay the flesh away. And so they're not given the Spirit. They continue to walk in the flesh. One of the dangerous doctrines of this world was eternal security. Once saved, always saved. That's what brought the church to where it is. It started back in before the war, before World War II, that it started. And we learned that President Kennedy was assassinated on November the 22nd. See, and this is when the President Trump's going to be cut down or cut off when it comes to November the 22nd. That Israel's going to cut him off, and then this is when they're going to flood Jerusalem. I know this is hard to understand, but this is where we are and this is what's going on. And we want to try to help people understand. We want to get people to really and truly turn to Jesus and let him in their hearts and begin to walk with him and follow him and talk to him. And don't be religious. Don't just be religious, because that's not, you can be religious and not understand the meaning of the scriptures, not know what the Bible is really meaning and what's talked about and what's brought out. But we hope you'll repent and talk to Jesus and let him in your heart and begin to walk with him and be at the marriage supper of the Lamb. Don't be like the 10 virgins, especially the 5 foolish ones that went to sleep and didn't prepare for the bridegroom to come. And so this is coming. This is all planned over. And I hope you'll pay attention and talk to Jesus and let him in your heart. And so God bless you, and you have a great day.